My fellow citizens, it falls upon me to remind you of that Swahili saying that says, kuwajibika ni ushujaa. Be a hero in all that you do, in every waking moment, in every action, and indeed in every word. This country, Kenya, needs you, now more than ever before. Kenya is at a pivotal stage in her progress. The actions and decisions that each Kenyan makes in the present day will determine whether our nation will achieve the Kenyan dream as articulated under Kenya Vision 2030 and presently focused through our Big Four agenda. Let us just remind ourselves the Big Four encompasses a decent roof over many more heads through affordable housing, food and nutritional security, universal health care, and job creation through manufacturing and value addition. Let us all, brothers and sisters, remain committed to the race, to being the best and world beaters in all that we do. In each of us lies the seeds of greatness. Every Kenyan should plant that seed in the fertile soils of integrity and water it with hard work and commitment to duty. Grow it only in the direction of the light of truth and justice, and reap only from the tree only those fruits that have been born from our rightful and righteous efforts. Indeed, fellow Kenyans, all our world religions have a golden thread of service to fellow mankind, especially the less fortunate. They demand that we improve ourselves and that we also better the world around us. For us as Kenyans, we are a prayerful and God-fearing nation, and one that acknowledges the supremacy of the Almighty God in the preamble of our Constitution. A nation of one people, of many faiths, whose diversity is our strength. We should come together and commit to ourselves and to each other that we shall look out for the welfare of our fellow Kenyans. As the nation of heroes, and in keeping with the teachings of St. Francis of Assisi, let each one of us commit to being an instrument of peace, to sow love amidst hatred, to give hope where there is despair, to banish the darkness of our world with the light of our good words and deeds. I call upon us all to attempt to do the best with what is committed unto us. Indeed, one of our greatest heroines, the late Professor Wangari Maathai, who inspired the world with her commitment to Mother Nature, often shared the story of the little hummingbird. When faced with a huge forest fire, all other animals stood by and did nothing, overwhelmed and feeling powerless against the raging fire. But the hummingbird decided to do something. It flew to the nearest stream and picked a drop of water and sought to put out the fire, one drop of water at a time. And so Professor Wangari Maathai encouraged us all to be like that little hummingbird, to do the best that we can, even though it may seem insignificant to others. It is true that one day it will eventually count for much. As I conclude, Eliud Kipchoge, who is alive and present with us, has also inspired the world that no human effort is futile, that we can dream and make our dreams a possibility, that we can achieve what has never been achieved before. Eliud Kipchoge remains the greatest of our time, and our duty is to emulate this enviable level of discipline and determination in our pursuit for a better Kenya for all. His latest conquest will be a constant reminder that we can achieve the very best as individuals and collectively as a nation. On my part, I commit the government of Kenya to even greater fidelity to the principles, values, and aspirations that inform the struggle for our independence and all the positive development of post-independence Kenya. We commit to providing each and every Kenyan with an enabling environment to be all that they can be and to bring. Today, Mombasa joins the counties of Nakuru, Machakos, Nyeri, Meru, Kakamega, and Narok, who have hosted National Day celebrations in the past. It is therefore my great pleasure to lead the nation in celebrating the 10th Mashujaa Day from Kenya's oldest town and indeed her second city. Mombasa and indeed the entire coast region is a good example of what our administration's commitment to the letter and spirit of devolution. Over the last 6 years, the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, Lamu, Mombasa, Taita Taveta, and Tana River have cumulatively received close to Kenya shillings 190 billion from the National Treasury. In addition to running county governments, these devolved funds have paid for roads, schools, youth polytechnics, water projects, and hospitals at the local level, development projects that make a difference and better the quality of life for millions of Kenyan families. We have undertaken tangible steps to address the unique development needs of this region. In the 6 years, there has been more targeted and concerted focus on developing the coast region than at any other time in the history of our country. From Holili in Taita Taveta County to Mukowe on the shores of Lamu, from the fishing ports of Shimoni in Kwale to the county of Boji in Tana River County, from the legendary Bamba shopping center in nearby Kilifi County to this Mama Ngina seafront that is hosting today's events, the visual markers of progress are plain for all to see. The Dongo Kundu bypass, the road from Bamba to Mariakani, the link road from Savo East to Malindi from Sala Gate, the Garsen Witu Road, the Voi to Taveta Road are just some examples of the enabling infrastructure built to unleash the economic potential of the towns and villages that they connect. Here in Mombasa City, as the governor has said, the transformation continues to redefine the face of this county. through the recently completed road projects such as Miritini Mwache Kipevu, New Container, Link Road, the Moi International Airport Access Road, the Port Reeds and Moi International Airport Access Road as well, while the following other projects are on the verge of completion: the Mariakani Highway and the dualling of the Magongo Road. It is under this administration that our ports and harbors have been expanded with new investments. At Kilindini, we have more than doubled the volume of cleared cargo passing the port annually. The significance of the port is further underscored by an 8,000-strong direct workforce hired at the facility and an even larger number of people that it supports indirectly, and we intend to continue with that support. Today, we celebrate our teachers, from the early childhood development instructors who receive our children when they first go to school, all the way to primary and high school. And it is through you that generation after generation of Kenyans have been molded and nurtured to realize their full potential in life. We celebrate teachers like Mwalimu Peter Tabichi, whose selfless service and excellence led to his recognition as the world's best teacher. Today we celebrate our scholars, our researchers, our innovators, who are constantly searching for new knowledge and instructing our university students. Scholars like the late Dr. Esther Mwangi, who dedicated her life to the study of forest conservation and management, property rights, as well as economic governance. Today, we honor the Kenyans called to serve around the world, our Kenyans in the diaspora, who continue to be our brand ambassadors in countries far from their home, and who continue to support millions of Kenyans in their homeland. Today, we honor our men and women in uniform, serving across various services, whose commitment to duty, whose sacrifice and bravery is at the heart of our freedom and security. Today, we particularly honor and salute all those who paid the ultimate price for the sake of Kenya. All those whose actions have contributed to making Kenya this towering island of peace and security within a region fraught with a history of turmoil and insecurity. We remember and treasure those who are no longer with us, and all those who continue their legacy today, all those who have built and continue to build our country. These are great Kenyans, and we shall not forget them. Fellow Kenyans, we live in a world where we often are misled to believe that our best and brightest men and women have long died. We live in a world where we are told that the age of heroes is past, and that we pale in comparison to the icons who came before us. The modern world appears to suggest that unless one achieves truly outstanding feats of global renown, that one is not a hero, nor can he or she claim to be great. We must reject this view that Kenya's best days are behind us. Our nation continues to be the home of Mashujaa, just as it was when bold men and women stood in solidarity against the world power and fought for our independence and sovereignty, while armed only with courage and sacrifice. Indeed, a Shujaa is one who sacrifices greed, selfishness, personal comfort, and advancement at the altar of the greater good. Yes, indeed, one can do well and prosper, but if he or she does not use their blessings, their privilege and opportunities to make Kenya a better place, then that is a life that is far removed from the true meaning of heroism. Fellow Kenyans, Mashujaa Day is a national day of collectively honoring all those who participated in the struggle for our independence, as well as those who have positively contributed towards the development of post-independence Kenya. On this day, we celebrate those who have built Kenya with their bravery, their sacrifice, and their fidelity. We celebrate and honor those that go above and beyond the call of duty. By this definition, it is possible for each and every Kenyan to be feted on Mashujaa Day. And why is this? Because positive contributions towards post-independence Kenya do not necessarily require grand acts of heroism akin to those of the founding fathers and mothers of our great nation. To be a hero or a Shujaa is to be committed to going above and beyond your call of duty, whatever your station in life, in order to make Kenya a better place for all. The sons and daughters of this coast region have made phenomenal contribution to the struggle for independence. From Mekatalili Wamenza to Ronald Gala, you have given Kenya countless men and women of iconic status who have contributed immensely to freeing our nation from the yoke of colonial rule. In post-independence Kenya, the coast region has also given rise to Kenyan heroes across the full spectrum of our public life. Many of your sons and daughters have brought honor and glory to Kenya as renowned business persons, researchers, scientists, exemplary musicians and artists, prominent political leaders, trade unionists, inspirational professionals, world-class academics, and dependable military generals and civil servants. The story of Kenya would not be as rich, dynamic, or as vibrant were it not for your contribution. Indeed, as their descendants, I am proud to proclaim that their legacy of our forefathers and mothers is alive and well within you, a fact demonstrated by the continued contributions to the Kenyan dream being made by all the people of Kenya. Today, We celebrate all the men and women from every corner and community of Kenya who helped make Kenya an independent state. Today, we celebrate all those who laid the foundation for the realization of our shared prosperity, for our freedoms, and for a country that is peaceful and secure. Today, we celebrate the farmers who continue to feed the nation through the sweat of their brow and the work of their hands. Today, we celebrate our civil servants who have been for more than half a century the engine of our states and anchors of our democracy. Today, we celebrate our doctors, our nurses, and other health workers as they continue their compassionate service. These are professionals who often work tirelessly and selflessly and have been responsible for, among other milestones, increasing our life expectancy from 35 years at independence to 67 years currently. Of course, we are also fortunate to have made very many acts of might and sacrifice that fit perfectly with the long Kenyan tradition of heroism. The spirit of Mekatilili Wamenza lives on today in the heroic women who are fighting negative cultural practices or blazing the trail for women to venture into areas once solely the preserve of men. The spirit of people like Koitelela Arap Samoei is alive and well in our police officers who serve and protect us and ensure that we live by law and with order and justice. Dedan Kimathi's spirit courses through the veins of the men and women of the Kenya Defense Forces, who even as we speak are deployed in foreign lands confronting and defeating enemies of our land. The heroism, patriotism, and love of country exhibited by our independence-era leaders persists to this day, as embodied in the historic handshake through which political divides were bridged for the sake of peace and a better Kenya. Fellow Kenyans, Mashujaa pays their full share of tax, promptly and diligently, and not under coercion. Mashujaa refuses to give or receive a bribe and reports all those who do so. Mashujaa is not an innocent bystander, non-committal, and uninvolved. Instead, they think, move, and speak boldly. Most importantly, Mashujaa understands that the family is the basic and fundamental unit of Kenyan society, and their acts of heroism begin at home by being a role model, an effective father, mother, son, daughter, or guardian. Mashujaa do not cheat or succumb to compromise. Mashujaa does not pick soft but wrong options, but rather chooses the hard and difficult route to do better. Indeed, in the world of disappointment and corruption, we are proud of the fact that there are still some judges and magistrates who faithfully and expeditiously discharge their oath of office without cowering in the face of the power and also of ill-gotten wealth of corruption suspects. There are also those who are our investigators and prosecutors who brave intimidation and reject inducements so as to bring the corrupt and other criminals to face justice. There are also our first responders, such as our firefighters, who rush into burning buildings to save us from the blaze, the paramedics and our ambulance crews that come to our aid on our roads and in our homes. Fellow Kenyans, there are other young Kenyans who are also peer ambassadors in the fight against drug abuse and other vices that have led some of our youth astray. So too do we have Mashujaa in our sportsmen and women who bring our nation pride and glory on the local, regional, continental, and global stages, breaking records along the way and enhancing our national reputation of excellence. Again, we are in the process of reviving the Kenya National Shipping Lines. And indeed, today it is my plea to all the stakeholders to support this transformative initiative that is geared towards cementing our place as the logistics hub for the region and the continent. We will not turn back in our pursuit to secure our national interests in the shipping industry. Our endeavor to localize the shipping industry and to ensure that our young men and women can once again sail the 7 seas under Kenya flag vessels is indeed unstoppable. These opportunities are opportunities that can benefit every Kenyan. We have also ensured that the County of Lamu will play host to the newest port on the East African coast, and that is the Lamu Post, which will begin its operations initially as a transshipment hub for global shipping lines. It will be supported by a special economic zone that is expected to attract investors from across the world to undertake various economic activities and create jobs for our people. Our aspiration is to link the Lamu port to the Lamu Port, South Sudan, Ethiopia transport corridor through road infrastructure. Our aim being to make Lamu Port the port of choice for transshipment, export of goods through the EPZ, as well as the export of Kenya's crude oil. I urge the residents of Lamu to embrace this investment and to take advantage of the many opportunities that it will bring in terms of wealth creation and prosperity. Fellow Kenyans, Kenya is now a global champion in the development of our blue economy. Our strategy to harness our maritime resources is a critical part of the Big Four agenda on food security and job creation in the manufacturing sector. It is in pursuit of the blue economy development that we have moved decisively to recover all fishing landing sites that had been illegally acquired previously. In addition, we have taken steps to stop illegal fishing by foreign trawlers through the introduction of our region's first National Coast Guard service. In partnership with the leadership of this region, every effort will be made to sensitize the population on how to take advantage of the opportunities created by the blue economy, the Mashujaa in each and every Kenyan. Working together in unity of purpose, we shall defy all odds and succeed. And today, as I conclude, and in honor of all the heroes, past, present, and future, I wish to invite and to recognize Eliud Kipchoge with the Order of the Elder of the Golden Heart.
Tusimame sote tafadhali kwa ajili ya wimbo wa taifa, wimbo wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki.